Let's outline a short film. What would you do if you woke up in a room with no way out? What would you do if you were being taunted by spiritual beings? What would you do if you were being tortured by the memories of your past and the only way to stop the pain was to seek the soothing taste of death? Would you give up your very soul? Today, it's me and Robert fleshing out this idea, building the world, understanding the characters' motivations, all in an attempt to make a film with one actor in one location. Because if you head over to Robert's channel and check out his latest short film, Alone, he pulled off a whole lot with a shoestring budget and no resources. It's an amazing film, hands down. Go check it out. Then come back here and watch us flesh out this new story. Welcome into the Fanaron.
An alien race needs to prep these humans for harvesting. Haven't figured out why yet, but they need to. And in order to do that, they need these people to willingly drink. That's the key part. They have to willingly drink a liquid. So what they do is they put these people in just a room, no windows, no doors, just four walls, nothing. And they deprive them of thirst, and then when they're like about to die, they give them they give them the liquid, and then they drink the liquid and get taken for harvesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't fleshed out like everything, but that's like the bare bone concept.
Do they resist when they see the water? Because by day 3, the people are gonna know. They're gonna be like what's happening? And then all of a sudden, a thing of water or a thing of liquid appears in the middle. Mm-hmm. Like they're gonna know they're being watched by this point. You know, they're gonna have figured it out. So are they gonna still resist? Is the main character the person who's in the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. And then, actually, you know what? Maybe we could do,
Ooh, I have an idea.
What?
Shoot.
And instead of, actually, pitching to the viewer that, the character actually sees the hand drop down, we could, make it like a dream or like a hallucination almost. To have that, sort of confusion.
That could be kind of cool.
At the very end, he wakes up or something in his room.
But he did drink that liquid. He just can't determine whether or not he did or not. Like the liquid made him forget or something.
Yeah, but then it's well, then how does he end up back in his room if the main point is for the aliens to harvest the humans, right?
What? So, but wait, why is okay? I don't hate that idea because I love psychological stuff like Inception and and I love when the audience is guessing at the end as well. But I also think that that's used a lot. It was a dream,
right?
And I want to know more about, even if it is a dream, I still want to know more about the aliens. Why do they need the people? And why do they need the people to willingly drink the liquid in order to harvest? And what are they harvesting? Their souls. They have to, it's almost like selling your soul to the devil. Like you have to willingly ingest the soul-sucking juice.
I almost thought of it like they were prepping the humans for something. Kind of almost like the thing that hits my head immediately is like a Matrix pod thing where they're prepping the humans for but it's like I said when I saw you last time, it's well then why don't the aliens just inject them with the thing? But then they need them to, that's why the willingly thing is in there.
So I think that that part needs to be fleshed out before the story will. But because as soon as we flesh that part out, as soon as we discover the wants and the needs of the character and the wants and the needs of the antagonist, then the ending will just appear to you. Like it's almost it's like the muse saying, "Yes, you've done it."
Right. Right. Okay. So.
And none of this is even going to go in the film. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, I for the feature that I just wrote, for the feature film that I just wrote, I have an entire Bible of character notes that aren't in the film at all. It's just like whenever I was thinking of what is this character going to say and how is this character going to react, like I would go back to my notes about the character and I would re-familiarize myself with his personality and all that stuff and his background and the choices that he made to get to this point, and that fuels his decision in the moment. And so why do the aliens need people?
Maybe it's
I know this might seem a little like generic, but you could say like the aliens need the people for a like unique ability that humans just don't fully have the skill to use with their brains. Something to kind of like advance their intelligence.
It advances human intelligence? No, the humans advance the aliens' intelligence? Yeah. Ooh.
That's kind of cool.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're getting somewhere.
Almost like a scientist researching something. It's like the aliens are researching humans.
So the thing that it ingests maybe does something to the brain to excrete like a certain chemical. Okay, wait. See, I always go back to DMT. For some reason, it always goes back to DMT. Because the brain produces DMT when you die. And
True.
Maybe that's, I don't know, people call it the spirit molecule, so maybe that's what the aliens want. But we don't have to do DMT.
Yeah, we don't have to.
I mean, the funny thing was I was actually thinking about that too. Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
Can I put images in this chat?
Yeah.
I did it. Okay, I had AI generate this little concept image. I don't know if I like this concept image. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's because the scale is wrong.
Yeah, true. Guy's way too. Actually, yeah, no, it just looks a little off.
Well, it doesn't.
God, I wish I
could. The description of your image. It's just like a regular house room.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It doesn't look like
What did you use?
ChatGPT. I got a free subscription because I'm a student, and
Nice.
it allows me to generate stuff. So
Nice.
it's pretty cool.
What was your original thought of what the room looked like? Because if you're planning on filming this, like the point of writing this film is because it's a very low budget, low concept film that is still very doable and like it's a cool story.
I almost imagine like a light blue gray carpet that is like, it's like that nasty like hard carpet and just plain walls. Like it's literally just it's a bare blank room. But it almost like I wish I could like communicate it. Yeah, dang. I don't know, just something that communicates like you know uncanny, like the word uncanny.
Yeah.
Like the feeling, almost like a room that feels uncanny, like it's a regular room, but something about it is just off. Like almost like oh my gosh, the thing that comes to mind. How do I share something else? Is like Vivarium. Have you seen that movie?
No, but I saw the trailer and it gave me chills and I wanted to see it, but I just haven't seen it.
Look, like this imagery, like this type of imagery, does that not like It's a little off. Like, just something about it.
Yeah. It's too perfect and too symmetrical.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how we could communicate that in like a room. Oh man, maybe it is the soul. Okay, what if we did something where it's like these aliens they're not like your traditional alien, but they're almost like jealous of humans as a species because we're favored by God. And God gives us souls, but nothing else in the universe souls. So maybe they're like harvesting humans because for the soul. Just I don't know. I feel like that's a little cool idea.
I like that idea. It almost then makes them like fallen angels, but they're aliens. They're just like interdimensional aliens. Which makes which also makes sense that they can they're huge and they can reach their hand into a room, and they can kind of also phase through things. Like something appears out of nowhere and you appear in a room with no walls and no exit. Like, how did you even get in there? Because they placed you in there, because they don't live within this physical realm. They can travel into a higher dimension, right?
That'd be kind of sick.
So we describe them as like alien-like. They're aliens. We don't say that they're demons or they're angels, but we use that kind of lore to drive their like how they interact and their like their goals.
I really like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Dude, I think that's a cool idea. I also, if you're down, Peter, I want to use some like claymation imagery for this film. And I know it's a little weird, but like for the hand coming from the ceiling, I was thinking maybe even like a stop motion claymation just imagery. Like I used to do it a long time ago, and like seeing it in movies, like that new stop motion horror movie, that is like it disturbs.
What movie? No.
You haven't seen that? Oh my gosh, dude. It's the coolest concept I've seen in forever. So it's like a girl, without showing you the trailer, it's a girl who is a stop motion artist, and she's working on this new stop motion project or whatever, and something happens and her stop motion comes to life. And it's like this really disturbing horror movie that people really liked. Critics didn't like it, but people really loved it. Like, yeah, 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Bro, like,
damn.
I'm telling you, bro, this stop motion imagery, at least in my opinion, is like really disturbing. Like, I've always hated it. Always. It just really rubs me the wrong way. I think if the hand was like, it almost makes it feel otherworldly, like through like some claymation imagery or something.
Do you want to actually use claymation, like, or do you want to use real, like, real hands, but put like recorded at 12 frames per second, like it's animated?
Right. I was thinking of doing that, like the second idea, but then I think it might be cooler if like I sculpted a real like freaky looking alien hand or something. And then we did real claymation behind a green screen, and then we comped it in after. We could always do the hand too. Like, I'm not opposed to doing that. I think it would still look really sick, but I don't know.
That would be really cool, but it would have to be done well. You know what I mean? Like, there's a fine line between cheap and creative, and if you could do something like that with the creative choice in mind, like I think of Beetlejuice, the original Beetlejuice. I don't know, have you seen that?
I watched a little bit of it, but I've never watched the full thing.
The claymation in Beetlejuice is very stylized. It's Tim Burton, and it's very like, it's not meant to look realistic, but that whole movie is stylized, and the way that even to the way that the building is designed, and then even the artwork inside of the building, because like the mom is an artist or an art critic or whatever. And but if you're going with stylized and like over the top like that, then it makes sense to make that kind of choice. But if you're going for dark and like horrific and serious, then you want to keep that sense of realism throughout the entire film. If you throw in a claymation hand that doesn't look realistic when everything else in the film was building up to this realistic climax, it won't fit the aesthetic of the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you include freaky like imagery throughout the whole thing, then the claymation makes sense. Or even animate the whole thing, like record the whole thing, like I said, in 12 frames per second, and make it almost, I don't know, when the person is in the room, they're even moving like they're being animated, you know?
Well, maybe. Dude.
And that you could also use camera like frame rate, speed, and motion blur in order to like portray some type of feeling when we're showing the character like basically like dying of thirst. They're like back and forth, and like we can do some motion blur like we did in Doppelganger with the running, because we knew we couldn't get the run to look realistic, so we had to hide it with shake and motion blur and recording at that high frame rate or that low frame rate. And then everybody commented, "Oh, how'd you get them to hit somebody? Did you hit somebody?" And it was like, no, man. Like
no,
it's all true. Camera trickery.
Dude, I almost wanted to play with the idea of like we follow our character through the like 3 days, right? And as we do, every time he like knocks out because he's, I don't know why, like he's tired, we follow him through the events of the night before. So we can do like lore drops and stuff.
What are the events of how he got there?
Yeah, like how he got there. Because I never read you what I wrote. Okay, when I first thought of this idea, I wrote the idea down on page, and like this imagery hit me of a silhouette of a person, or not even a person, but just like the silhouette of somebody, and light like flooding out of their mouth and eyes, but like in a way. Have you ever seen 9?
Yeah.
That movie, when that happens to some of the people, when they get like their things taken out of the puppets or whatever.
Yeah.
That always scared the crap out of me. And so like, I think that would be a really cool imagery to like flash on screen, almost like when he first wakes up, captures the viewer's attention like crazy, and then we show them where he's at and everything.
How are you gonna film that?
Actually, Mario, you know what that reminds me of?
Yeah,
that reminds me of whenever in Supernatural they stab them with the angel blades.
Oh,
ooh.
True. That's kind of cool.
Okay. Remember scale.
Yeah, true.
Scope. True. You're adding huge elements like more actors, more locations, more shooting. It's gonna be another Alone.
Oh no. Yeah, true. We don't want that.
No, let's try to keep it contained to this room. What if during those knockout points we see, like, from his perspective, it's all blurry and like distorted, but we see figures like silhouettes standing over him, like talking in some type of language, and then like all of a sudden he wakes up and he's like, huh, and he's alone again, and he's like, oh, and
dude, you know what would be sick is, you know how we're gonna have the hand like reaching in or whatever?
Yeah.
What if we had? It's gonna sound so stupid, but you gotta bear with me. What if we had like one of these aliens? It was like I don't know, it'd be like a shocking imagery. It's like a baby alien, right? But it's the baby alien's still massive. What if it was like a massive humanoid hovering over him while he's like asleep? Like it's just like a dude.
All right, Robert. I don't want to change your idea completely, but I do have a really cool idea.
Change
What?
it completely.
What we could do
Oh,
is
God.
we could change the film into something that symbolizes spiritual warfare. Like,
What do you mean?
I don't know, like I had an idea of like, since angels can change actually no, no, that won't work. So but
Wait, say it.
I was going to say angels can change time, but they can't. So it doesn't really go into what I was thinking, because I was thinking like the demons or the quote unquote aliens would try to influence the human to drink this liquid. It's kind of like Adam and Eve with the apple, the snake.
Mhm.
And then he wakes up again, but the bottle's still there, and there's like something, I don't know. But my other idea, other than that, was instead of making the hand look super horrific, since demons are supposed to look like almost how you would imagine a angel, it could look friendly and like almost like this heavenly figure, because in the Bible it describes angels as these really scary and strong beings that can scare off demons.
That's a good idea, actually. I like that. Like almost like the hand is like maybe the aliens disguise themselves as God. Like, can you imagine that? Like they tell the human like they've been put here for like a reason or something.
What?
And that-
Wait. What if there's another person in the room with him who is also suffering, and that person ends up being one of the aliens?
That'd be kind of insane. Doppelganger.
No.
No, just
Well,
kidding.
I was thinking that like if we make the other person weaker than this person, and so that this person is like, I need to take care of this person is weaker than me, and it's like, and then that person ends up being the alien, like, and the whole time he could be like, you should drink it, like you drink it, that, you know, and trying to coerce him to drink it, but then he catches on at the end, like, why do you want me to drink it so badly? Like, you keep telling me to drink it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty. Yeah, I also want to say, imagine if it was like a kid.
I mean,
But then we gotta find a.
I really
a
like
kid.
that, but I feel like the ending should be something like how you can repent and be forgiven. Like almost like you're influenced or tempted, and then you do it. Like you drink the liquid, and then at the end of the movie, the character is in such distraught, he does something that we can use to like symbolize like repentance or something, change of heart or whatever, and potentially end off the movie like that, or a short film.
I was thinking when I thought of the whole outline, I was thinking that it's like a very visually like dreamy and disturbing film. Like almost like there is no ending. Like I was talking to Peter Michael about like almost the last shot of the person who had drinking the liquid being carried. And it's like, you know the scene of Jesse from Breaking Bad when he does the drugs and he like floats out of his room? That's how I imagined it. And it's just like the hand over his torso like carrying him out of the room. And we play like some weird music or something. And then we cut to like a final shocking scene, almost like we had thought of for Doppelganger, where it was like the guy in the lake or something. Like we could have like a shocking like reveal or something. I don't know. I'm just like imagining the whole thing looking very dreamy and like really like play on visually disturbing.
How? Okay. I like that. And I think that the fact that he is being tortured essentially to death Um, that'll be a good visual indicator of him being tortured. Like it's showing his like what he's feeling and experiencing. But I'm almost feeling like there should be some type of conflict between him and the alien, whether that's through like probably the best way to do it would be just like having the alien communicate with him somehow, but he's not able to communicate back, almost like through a whisper of some sort, like where he hears a whisper and the whisper's like telling him to drink it.
Right.
But then also I almost feel like if he has to drink it on his own accord, then torturing him until he drinks it is not doing it on his own accord. I guess he's technically making the choice.
Yeah, that's what Michael was saying too. That's
But,
when I
yeah.
read him in the thing earlier.
I feel like if this person is going to have like an inner conflict, if they're going to actually like have depth to their character and we want to integrate some type of maybe biblical like lore into the story or have something to do with the soul or morality, then he has to like, it can't just be I'm really thirsty and now I'm going to drink. It has to be I'm challenged either because of my past or because of a choice I have to make. Like maybe the drink is to kill yourself, but then he has to be prompted like you have to drink this and kill yourself, otherwise you're going to die a long, slow, tortured death. And this person is like, no, I can't kill myself. Like I'm not going to make that choice to kill myself. But then at the very end, maybe he does because he's being tortured so much that he can't take it anymore and he gives in. And then the last scene is him being taken away by the hand. And that's like a dark film.
Actually,
right there.
Dark.
yeah, you can.
Yeah, dude.
Even with that, you could put in some biblical lore with that as well. Like once they die, they could then experiment with his soul or something that, because then they kind of use us as guinea pigs. They grab us and then they know that we're not going to willingly drink their special liquid, so in turn they would probably just torture us and then we drink it and they take us to experiment.
Right. I almost I kind of want our character to be like a loner who like works at a grocery store. And the only reason I want that is because we could show his like name on a name tag, and I feel like it could even influence like it could influence his decision to kill himself because his life sucks or something. So he
I like
feels
that.
like, yeah, maybe.
So so in the very beginning, do you want to show him not in the room, or do you want to pick it up right in the room?
I wanted to pick it up right in the room, but that's why I was saying like maybe through his dreams we'll show the events of the night before. So like he could be doing something like putting the carts away or something, or like I don't know, just following him through the
Okay, it could be as easy as him something happening to him and he's just like, oh, I hate my life or something like that, and it's almost like showing that he actually doesn't like his life, and now when he's given the choice of sweet death or torture, he chooses torture.
Yeah, it's like need human to willingly drink liquid. So soul stays intact.
Yeah. And then they ingest it in order to have long life. Like for every human soul that they ingest, they like live 1,000 years or something.
Dude, I got like the scene in my head of like the big alien's hand like dropping the human in its mouth. Like that's the last scene, or just like a slow-mo of the human falling or something. I don't know. That'd be
Like
kinda
in a black void with
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
one
exactly.
light from the top. Like,
Yeah, and all you see is like the highlights on the teeth or something, and it's like a
dude,
slow-mo shot of the body falling. I feel like that'd be
dude,
sick.
that's got to be the ending, the final scene. Like,
I feel like it has to,
and
dude.
it's very dark, and there's a lot of, it's mostly silhouettes. So the way you light it, you could get away with it doing it in do you use Unreal or Blender?
Blender right now.
Yeah, you could definitely, if I think that your best choices that you've made as a director and as a VFX artist have been utilizing shadows and like fast cuts and not like holding on the character that
Yeah.
is, you're learning. It's
Mhm.
it's and it's Blender, and you don't have maybe the PC to render something out that's like super crazy and realistic. So, but you
Mhm.
still can, it can hold up if you do it the right way. That's 100% like Steven Spielberg's,
Yeah.
the way that he used to make films in the 80s and 90s.
Mm. Dude. Yes.
Yes.
Dude, that's such a sick
Robert.
visual.
I
Oh
really
my
okay.
gosh.
First of all, Peter,
Yeah.
I really like the idea of the silhouettes. But I don't want to go too ambitious with the void effect. But I was thinking like, oh, like how whenever they show like a wraith in a movie and it's got like that almost like unpredictable, like blurry
Hmm.
black flame almost. We could try to use that effect
Yes.
within the
Yes.
void so that way it looks like whatever alien or interdimensional being that is consuming the human soul can change like the dimension or physical aspects of something or just to make the effect look cool.
Okay, it's kind of a crappy little drawing, but do you see what I'm imagining? Like this, you know how I was saying the roof could open up and
Yeah.
like that's where the hand comes in?
Yeah.
Imagine if the light source that we see from the void was that little hole and it's just like the floating square or something.
Ooh.
Almost like that, and that's the light source illuminating.
And that's the teeth.
Yeah, and that's the teeth, and this is the
Oh,
human.
Whoa, that's sick.
Tell me that's not sick, dude.
See, I love that you can do this on your computer real fast, like, because I'm over here trying to describe what I'm seeing in my head to the AI. That's so cool.
Dude,
That's
Robert.
not what I was thinking at all.
Yeah,
The
that's
light
what I was
coming
imagining.
from the
What?
hole could also make that that gray color I was talking about. And
Mm-hmm.
It could, yeah.
and that'll kind of show you that it's like some dimensional guy.
Dude, I think this film could be insanely good. Especially like I don't think I've seen a film that plays on like I'm trying to think of the dude's name. There's a guy who makes these short TikToks that are like visually so cool.
Robert, you know what I
Let me
think you
see
can
if I
do real quick? Try snapshotting the
What?
image that you have on there, like just your rough sketch, and try giving it to ChatGPT and then using Peter's explanation.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Can it do that?
Yes, that's
Oh.
actually the best use case for their new generator is you upload, like, you can make thumbnails for YouTube, but if you upload a picture of yourself and then a drawing of like what you want in the background, and it like integrates the two. So like upload that
Whoa.
and say that you want that in the style of like a cinematic Marvel film or something like that.
Whoa, that's awesome, dude. Okay, let me see if I can save this on my computer. Desktop. Call this Void.
Bro, I'm getting some really cool stuff too over here.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I'm gonna upload something. Or actually, maybe I'll just share my screen. I'm taking over.
Okay, cool.
Okay, first of all, this room,
Oh, dude. Oh,
I think that looks pretty cool. I mean, the rest of
that
them,
does look pretty cool.
Is that kind of what you were like? What do you and the lighting too? Like it's very gray. It's very like flat.
Oh, it almost reminds me of like an office space.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like it, but I don't know if I like the floor. Like I like the walls.
So wait,
and the
Barbara, are
ceiling,
you
but I
talking
think the
about like an
floor is,
insane
like-
asylum padding? Almost like that type of room.
No. Like whoa, dude.
Like obviously it's the wrong orientation,
Right.
but like that I think is so cool. But like
Dude.
the way you could barely see it, that's exactly what I was trying to like get. But then like the body I feel like should be more like this, right?
Ooh, whoa.
That is freaky.
What about this one?
That is so sick. That is uncanny. That alien at the bottom is uncanny. I love this idea because it really wouldn't be that difficult to do. It wouldn't take that long to film. I think all the compositing could be done pretty fast too. Like it's just like a really cool idea that is not that hard to do. Oof, that looks disgusting. See,
No,
I
just
agree.
like
Share what you
just
got.
the whole idea. There's something
Okay.
that we've been building only for how long? Like maybe an hour. Like this is for me. This sounds amazing. I would watch this myself.
Well, that makes me happy. Then go ahead and subscribe to Into the Fanaron. Just a shameless plug right there.
What in the world is that? That's
It
kinda
starts
cool.
out kind of cool like this, and then it's like.
Oh, what in the world?
That's the
Dude.
thing about AI. It's like it starts out cool, and then it gets weird.
Yeah. AI is so sick, dude. Starting to get a little too good though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dude, have you seen the talking baby videos?
Yeah, they're all over the place.
I
I
love
love
those
seeing
videos,
Theo
dude.
Vaughn and Joe Rogan
Yeah,
as talking
yeah.
babies.
Dude, it's the best, dude.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, whoa. So I do see it now. It was really hard to
Dude.
see at first. That's cool, dude.
that's sick. It's not exactly what it would look like, but dude, it's pretty sick.
Yes.
Wow.
I feel like the giant needs a little bit more backlight
Yeah.
to
I
like
agree.
to separate it from the background because I couldn't even see it at first. But it's exactly the feeling, right?
Yeah.
Dude. That's sick. Okay. So these celestial alien beings need humans to kill themselves because in the act of killing yourself, something happens to the soul, and then whatever the blue thing is that I guess I just imagine it's blue because you like said it. You thought you thought of it like it was the blue drink from Dune. So the blue drink like preserves the body or prepares the body for ingestion, and they have to kill themselves. So his internal battle is: does he suffer and die from torture? Because so like maybe a couple of times he's like I'm about to die, like he just like accepts death and he's about to die, but then he wakes back up. It's like the aliens won't let him die; they just want him to suffer because they want him to kill himself.
That would be kind of crazy. What if this is okay, what if we lean really heavily on like the spiritual aspect of it, right? And the reason these aliens or like demons or fallen angels or whatever need these people to kill themselves is because they need them to commit an unforgivable sin in the eyes of God before they can harvest their souls. Otherwise, they're like toxic to consume or something. Like their souls need to unpurify or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Because
That's what I was thinking,
I like
but
that.
I feel like the
Because
only issue is what if the watcher wanted to see what happens whenever someone doesn't follow through with what they want? Like, do they go back to their originated like state? Like, do they disappear out of that dimension and just leave off where they were when they just appeared?
oh my gosh, what if the flashes? What if the flashes at the beginning of like the idea of the light flooding out of the person's mouth? What if that is the person's soul leaving their body, but we don't know that yet? And like this whole time we think like their physical body is in the room, but what if it was their soul that was in the room? So
Yeah.
like
So the
so
room
like
is not like in physical space. It's not.
right,
It's like in another dimension because it's actually the box inside of your soul.
right.
Hmm.
And then like what Michael was saying earlier, like we were talking about like the cliche and everything. What if at the end of the film, like we cut back and it's the person we've been going through this film with, we see their like soul leaving their body, and then like they're just like a soulless human on Earth now or something. Or like I don't know. I feel like that's not. I feel like it shouldn't end that way. But like maybe as the humans falling into the demon's mouth, we see like that clip again of the light flooding out, and that'll be the explanation that we
Ooh.
won't tell.
So I agree with that. Yeah. But I still say we avoid like showing as like a bunch of stuff outside of
Yeah.
the room, right? So he drinks the liquid and then the light comes out of his eyes and his mouth like he's being turned
Ooh.
off.
Yeah, maybe.
And then he lays there after he does that, and then all of a sudden like we have the camera on sticks and we look up, and then that's when the roof comes off and the hand comes in.
Oh, dude. Can you imagine like the camera rising above the person as they're like violently shaking and like the lights coming out of their mouth and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know how we would composite that or do that, but
Yeah, I almost feel like you put like a light in your mouth and then you shoot it from the side like this. And then like it like
yeah.
glows so you can't see inside of the mouth, but how are you gonna do the eyes?
Yeah, true. Hold on, let me see light.
I mean, this could be
Dang, nobody's ever
really
done that
like
effect.
far
Oh, no,
fetched, but we could try to utilize like glass or glasses to kind of like refract the light off of something. So you could shoot a light from like a top angle of the
ow.
person's face and almost have the like some glass over their eyes to kind of reflect the lighting. Just something around those lines. I don't know.
Trying to think of how we could do that because it's a really cool effect, but once again it's one of those things where it might be better to exclude something like that because of the difficulty of trying to figure it out and the sake
Right.
of like let's make a movie.
Mm-hmm. You know, and I agree. It's just like a little too I don't know. It's a little too far out of at least my comfort zone. I don't know about you, but like I don't know. I'm trying to think about like the workflow of doing an effect like that, and it's like you track the person and then like maybe make the shape of their eyes and their mouth, then like make the rays. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard of an effect. I just don't know if it would look as cool as we think it would look.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way if money wasn't an option and I was directing this is exactly how I would do it. I would build a mold of the person's head of exact replica
Video.
molds.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Hmm.
I'll do it. Don't worry. Sorry.
All good.
I'm on the video.
I would if I could do it with no money in like involved, I would make a mold of the person and then I would illuminate the light coming out of the eyes and out of the mouth from this mold that looks very realistic.
Yeah, you could do that.
True. Yeah.
But that's probably unrealistic for what we're working with.
Yeah. I also don't know if the idea of like a demon. I mean, I feel like that's creepier. I don't know if it's as cool as like a different like organism. I don't know. Actually, I never mind. I think demon's cool.
Well, I mean, from my perspective, everybody has different beliefs, but I think that aliens are one of two things, or actually one of three things. If they actually exist, they're either humans from the future or from the far past that are coming back to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They are actual alien creatures that evolved on another planet, were and got to a point where they could actually travel through the stars, and they're based out of biology the way that we are. Mm-hmm. Or they are spiritual beings that can travel through dimensions, which would make them either angels or demons, whether they are good and trying to help us or whether they are bad and trying to hurt us is the differentiator. But they, like, spiritual beings are the beings that are like traveling in and out of dimensions. So like if there's an alien that can travel through dimensions, that doesn't experience time like us, that lives of a higher dimension, I would consider that an angel or a demon. But if they live in the physical world that we live in and are restricted by the same physics that we're restricted by, then they would just be aliens.
True. Yeah, true.
So this thing seems like it is above physical limitations. It is a spiritual being of some sort, and it's trying to kill and consume this thing, which in my mind, that makes it a demon.
Yeah, true. I almost wonder, like, why, like, sure, the demon's trying to like eat or consume the humans to prolong its life, right? But then it's like, what's like the end goal? Like, is it just trying to like live forever, or?
Well, with a character like that, it is a big bad. And so if its goal is to eat and live long, like I bet you a chicken might ask the same thing about a human. What's your end goal? You just keep taking my children and consuming them in front of me, and then eventually you're going to kill me. What's your end goal here? I'm hungry. That's my end goal. Like, maybe the celestial being is just hungry, and this is what it desires.
All right, so I found this really cool website, and I'm gonna take over with my screen. So this is kind of the effect I was looking for, something like this, to kind of like, make that like void feel almost.
Oops. That almost looks like it's like we're traveling forward.
You know what? That would look really cool if it was coming out of the light source. Like, can you imagine if that was like that effect was coming out of the light source?
Like, we don't see light the way that we see light because it's not our reality. Like, we see the actual light particles.
Oh, yeah, maybe. That'd be kind of sick.
And then we see them bouncing. Well, okay, now we're getting into CGI. Because no, that's like simulation. Like, the light particles come out, they bounce off of the hand and then bounce onto the face, and that's how the face is being illuminated. That's cool, though. I like that. It's not what I was imagining. I was imagining something more like the Upside Down.
Oh.
Which we could easily do. We can film it in front of a green screen, remove the green, and make it completely black. Or film it in front of a black sheet, which would make it even easier.
Mhm.
And with AI, we can generate something that looks like it has depth, and then we can add smoke elements to it in post production, which isn't something that's going to make it look bad or like it's not stretching the CGI. It's utilizing the tools that we have.
Sure.
If we can find something like this to incorporate this like void look into it as well, I think that would be sick because it looks cool.
True. Demon entity. What's in it? So is it just like, is the reason the human would drink the liquid to like get out of the situation they're in? Just like there's no point in like
if you're being tortured and you have two choices, eventually you're gonna die either way, right? End it now and end the torture, or prolong it and suffer for who knows, maybe a year before the aliens get tired and then they let you die. I feel like I would choose death. I have 2 children, so I'm constantly being tortured.
Yeah, dude.
And sometimes I long for the sweet silence of death. But after I get through that little hiccup, I'm like, oh, okay, it's better now. I'm okay.
Yeah, true.
But a crying baby is basically torture.
Yeah, it is, dude. It's the worst. I'm gonna send you something real quick. It's very bad. You know I don't write. I am not a writer, but I did kind of write a proof of, or like I said, like a concept, like the beginning of something. I don't even know.
Are you? Did you put it in the chat? Or are you?
I did.
There
we go.
Faden, our character, lies still, his drool seeping into the carpet that surrounds him. His face badly beaten, our character's eyes flutter, dreaming maybe? Flashes ensue, an image of a humanoid silhouette with light flooding out of its eyes and mouth darts on screen. He awakens, screaming. He's just seen something terrifying, nothing near as terrifying as the reality that's setting in. Around him are 4 walls, no doors, no windows, nothing. The walls consist of solid white wallpaper. Our character stands, the camera follows. Deeply confused, he walks up to one of the 4 walls and frantically scans. Nothing. Maybe the walls are hollow. He knocks. No reverberation.
Yeah, I didn't have a good word there.
No, that's good. That's a great descriptor. He slowly walks back into the other wall. He turns, looking for any way he can escape this room, but to no avail. Our character is trapped, now slowly falling into the sitting position. We see our character close his eyes, looking for silence, but to no avail.
Yeah.
Now, pacing around the room, trying to figure out what the hell to do, he starts counting seconds, scratching the wall every 60 seconds. We cut. 60 minutes have gone by. Screaming ensues, first calling for help, then met with demands to be let out. We arrive at our character once again, sitting, knees to chest, waiting, scratching 1 minute at a time. We cut to our character's mouth, painfully swallowing, his throat visibly and audibly dry, his lips cracked. He lies down and falls asleep. We follow our character through the events of something else.
Like I said, it's very bad, but I was writing while Logan was watching a show. So I was like because it was like he's watching a very good episode of a show. So I was trying to focus on both things at once, and I got kind of jumbled up with my writing. But I don't know, I think...
Okay. First he panics. Then he's angry.
Oh, like the stages of grief or whatever?
Almost, yeah. Let's look that up.
Yeah, stages of grief. So it's denial.
Yep.
Then bargaining. Then acceptance. Then anger, and then depression, which would lead him to kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wait, denial, bargaining, acceptance, anger,
and depression.
Okay, that's a good starting point. So first he panics, so he's in denial. Um, this is actually, how do we show bargaining? Because the acceptance is, okay. I can picture denial perfectly. He's panicking. He's trying to find a way out. He's crying. He's panting. He's confused. And then I can see acceptance perfectly in my head as well. He is he is finally settles down and he like accepts his fate and he's like, okay, take me, God, or whatever, we'll figure out some dialogue about that doesn't sound exposition-y, but like he accepts his fate of death. I'm okay. I'm not gonna kill myself, but I'm here. All right, I'm just gonna die. And then that's the point when the aliens don't let him die. Like every time he tries, every time he's just like accepts it, they just keep him alive and keep him suffering. And then eventually he gets angry at them because he's like, you won't just let me die. And then he gets into that depression where he finally makes the decision to kill himself. And this is like really dark because it's like a reflection. It's not just a movie about aliens or demons or whatever. It's a movie about like society and the state of men, at the current state of men.
I feel like
true, bro.
You could represent bargaining as
I've been
his
listening to
like
the soundtrack at 1.5
his
speed the whole time.
reasoning, or like his with drinking the liquid.
Ooh, well, yeah, okay. He's also trying to figure out what's happening to him. And this is going to be the stage where okay, so it is revealed. The plot is revealed to him. So he knows now, like during the bargaining stage, after the denial stage, which is the panic, that's hook that like brings you in. You're like, oh, okay, well, this is gonna be good. The next stage, like after he like wakes up the next day or whatever, after like a whole day of screaming and banging and crying, and he wakes up and then he's trying to now use logic. Okay, like how did I get here? What's the last thing I remember? And what am I supposed to do? And then all of a sudden, like maybe the lights flash off and then back on, and the bottle is there, and he's like, "What is this?" And like he goes over to it, and somehow it has to be revealed to him that if he drinks the bottle, he dies, and he has to choose to do it. And so we have to either do it through exposition, through voice, or through text, or something.
Okay, I have an idea. What if we do this whole thing, right? So he denies where he's at. The bottle's revealed to him, and he chooses to like naturally die of just like thirst. And it's like a really beautiful moment that we show like he's accepting that he's like just gonna give up or whatever. And then he dies and he like wakes up and his clothes and everything are like brand new, almost like he got sent like back in time to do the whole like torture process over. Like if he doesn't drink the bottle. Like
I like the idea of him coming back to health, but not like time traveling back, because that's just ooh, okay, unless when he does wake up. See, because if that's the case, then I feel like it should happen over and over and over again.
Yeah.
See, like whenever we bring up like a repetitive nature to it, it kind of reminds me of spiritual warfare. It's almost like you're tempted with something, you do it, but then you are forgiven, and you have this chance of having that change of heart, that change of mind. So maybe it could the movie or the short film could be like a symbol or symbolic meaning to like represent spiritual warfare,
Dude, I
something
need to
around those
find
lines.
that kid.
Well, we'd have to have. I mean, I guess we don't have to, but if we wanted to make it more so like the message is like, even if you choose this, there's no like there is no unforgivable sin. I know Catholics believe that there's that is the only unforgivable sin, or denying, Christ. But I don't know. I think all sin is
100%.
sin. There's no sin that's better or worse than any other sin.
Fair.
So, like, if you do kill yourself, I don't think God would say, "Well, you did the one thing." Like,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
bro.
yeah.
Like, I feel like I don't know. Who knows? We don't. None of us will ever know until the day comes. But, if we were going to do it like that, like, so this to me, it feels like obviously it's shaping out to be kind of an anti-hero tragedy story where the good guy loses. Where if we wanted to make it like more of a hero's journey redemption story, even if he chooses that path and maybe he's falling into the mouth, but then like all of a sudden a light engulfs him and he wakes up somewhere else, like in a white void, and he's greeted, and then like he looks off to the distance and he's greeted with something, and like a bright light illuminates his face, and then he smiles, and then we cut to black. Something like that.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the ending to be so. This whole thing, I mean, if you think about it, it is spiritual warfare. Anytime like you are opened up to the cycle of depression, the denial, if you trusted God and everything, then you wouldn't need to deny anything. You would just say, what do you want from me? And if you bargain, you're like shutting him out. You're like, I'll figure it out myself. And then if you accept that, in this context, you're accepting the terrible things that are happening to you, instead of, well, I guess that I think is a good thing. Acceptance is something, is part of grace. And then, but then the anger is, once again, the evil spirits are getting into you. You're allowing yourself, your sinful nature to come out. And the depression, once again, if God was at the center of your heart always, no matter what happened to you, then none of these things would affect you. In the same way that, like, the story of Job, he everything was taken from him and he still didn't blame God. He asked, like, why is this happening to me? But at the end of the day, he still was like, okay, like, whatever your will be done. And that's the entire lesson from that whole story of Job. So the way that we're structuring this, I feel like it is spiritual warfare, but it ends badly for him. He's not redeemed at the end because we're trying to say something about ourselves.
True.
Actually, I don't know if that would make complete sense for the storyline, because Robert wrote down in his notes, where was it? Oh, the room is a form of psychological torture for humans, depriving them of any sense. But I feel like if it was about spiritual, like a spiritual war, or demons doing something so that way you are tempted and you are doing this, it has to result in something that seems good but ends badly.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, in my mind, I feel like it seems good to end it faster because then you're not suffering, but it ends badly because you're choosing death over God's will. You're putting yourself in the driver's seat and saying, if I'm going to die, I'm going to do it on my own terms, where that's the reason why killing yourself is a sin, because it's not on God's terms, it's on your own terms.
Right.
But I also could see it being like I would love to bring in something more morality within the context of everything.
Instead of it just being stuck to one setting where he's just being tortured or whatever, it could almost be like that choice in the Matrix. Choose the red pill or the blue pill. And that could be your choice to take the hard route, which is to strive away from temptation or things that seem almost like a heavenly like direction that you think would be good for you, but you're following God's path in that pill. And then the other pill would be falling into that temptation. And it kind of shows both perspectives.
And that could be like mirrored for basically everything in life, all the temptations that we go through in life. Like we have to make a choice. But how so the hard thing is how do we show that without having somebody sit down and explain it to the audience? Because also if we go in that route, then it's becoming it's becoming a different film. Whereas I think if we go with the alien, celestial alien or demonic like harvesting route, it's still, to me, metaphorically, that story is being told. And that's always something that, like, first of all, I think that the story that we're kind of like moving towards with this discussion should be told too. Like somebody dealing with real moral choice of like, should I give into the temptations or should I like choose the path of God? And that story is such a powerful story, but I don't know if we can tell it in a more metaphorical way, taking out certain explanational like elements that where we're actually referencing spiritual warfare. That's when that's where really good storytelling comes into play. When you see something, you're just like, I don't know why, but that was so good. And it's typically because it's a story that we already know, but it's told in such a unique way that you don't even realize you're being told the same story. I like either direction. I just think that if we're going that direction, it's going to change the film. Like we're going to have to go back and like rethink about how we're going to introduce what choices are we going to introduce, what are the characters, like how are we going to show the exposition of like the choice. I mean, probably might complicate things with bringing in potentially another actor.
I don't know if this might seem like a little hard to like mold into the story, but what we could do is instead of having like a separate actor represent those choices to the main character in our short film, we can do kind of what Robert was looking for, which was having that bottle in the middle of the room. But there's like two things. Like a voice is telling him not to, but his suffering or this or not, I wouldn't say suffering, but his lack or his want for it becomes greater because the feeling of wanting to drink that liquid because he's so thirsty becomes so great. And it could be like that type of warfare. Does he choose to thirst himself because this because God, the voice, is telling him that everything's going to be all right? Or does he drink it because he feels really like deprived?
I imagine I'm imagining like the shots of like a close up of the lips like dry, and then a close up of the eyes, and then a close up of the like condensation on the outside of the bottle, and like the decision.
Well, also that does take away from the harvesting like demon that comes out of the roof, and or maybe like when he does drink the bottle, that demon does appear and he just harvests.
That's yeah. In my mind, the stopping point that I picture is that we kind of have like a little bit of a roadmap for the character. He wakes up in the room. I like the idea of the harvesting of the organs. I like the idea of the choice of him killing himself, or maybe it's not killing himself. Maybe it is like something else that it's a moral choice that he has to like go against the thirst. But the stages of depression, the stages of denial, or whatever, and then the final choice to actually take it and drink the blue juice, and then the roof opening up. And I love the imagery that you came up with, Robert. It's cool. It's cool.
Thank you, brother. I gotta create some more concept art, and like actually, we gotta just flesh this out, dude. I think it could be so good, and it's really not that hard to make. Wouldn't take long at all.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think after this conversation, I have a better vision of like how to execute it, and then like the characters make sense to me more because we fleshed out just kind of the backstory. Even though the story is essentially the same as when you pitched it to me, it's like we all have a better understanding of everything that led to the point and the motivations of the characters. I think it's really going to take shape. Next time we jump on, we can do an outline.
Yeah, I can't wait until it's in
just
video
jump
form.
into it and just start
That'll
writing,
look
man.
super cool.
Yes, sir. Actually, dude, I'm excited. I am. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good, dude.